Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know I no longer use goals to drive my productivity. Instead, I use the idea of themes. So each year, I've got one overall theme, and then for this year, that's the theme of why. It's all about asking questions about everything I do to make sure that I fully understand the reasoning and the justification for what I spend my time doing. I then further break this down into a number of quarterly themes, and each of those quarterly themes, they support that overarching annual theme. For this quarter, the theme, it's been, why are you doing this? The idea is, as I'm challenging myself, I'm asking myself, why am I doing this? Not for everything, because if I did that way lies madness, but it was just really challenging where it made sense to. From this, I've identified three main areas that I looked at around how I manage my actions and how I create and manage my video and media workflow. Let's start with the action or the task management. For the past dozen or so years, I've used a tool called OmniFocus. This is an extremely powerful action management system. Yes, it's Apple only, so there is a limitation in that respect. I would spend most of my day in this app either on my Mac, on my iPad, or on my phone. And it's where I tracked everything that I need to do. At the start of this year, a new version of the application was released. And it's a paid upgrade. Now, I'm not saying that the application is no good. It isn't, and I really was very close to buying it. But I thought to myself, why am I doing this? I used my theme to try and better understand why I'm using this software. So I dug down until I understood what it was that I wanted from the software and also how I use it. Now this, to be honest, it's something I haven't done for a long time. So it meant I was just using the same system because, well, it worked. This gave me a list of requirements, some of which were needed and some of which, well, they were just nice to have. And using this, I looked at some alternatives. And the one that I settled on was actually Apple Reminders. This comes built in with the Apple operating systems on Mac, iPad and iPhone. The overall result, I was able to move my action management system from the paid application to this free set of apps, and with very minimal disruption to my workflow. One of the reasons this works for me, well, I'm entirely in the Apple ecosystem, so I've got access to reminders everywhere I need it. For more details on this, I have released a video talking about the transition and the requirements and how I went about it. I then looked at my video creation. I try and batch film my videos to try and take advantage of just setting up the equipment once only. It does take time to get everything out, set it up, get it all ready. So what I do is I tend to record all the overhead videos, all the ones where you're looking down, on a Monday, and then all the face videos and the intros and the outros, I try and record those on a Wednesday. The Monday session, that was taking most of the morning, and the Wednesday one, that was taking about 2 hours. What I was finding, on a Monday, by the time I got to the third video, because I used to record 3, sometimes even 4, my brain, it was starting to feel frazzled. So I asked myself, why am I doing this? The main reason, it was to reduce the amount of time setting up and breaking down equipment for each recording session. So I measured how much time it takes me to set everything up, and then how much time it took to swap from a face recording to an overhead recording. And this swap time, it's only about 5 minutes. So I made a change. I now record only 2 overhead videos on a Monday. And the third one, I record that on a Wednesday after I've done the face videos. By making this change, I'm enjoying recording all the overhead videos again. By the third one, I was starting to feel a bit bored, and my brain, it doesn't end up feeling frazzled. Finally, I took a look at my media management workflow. I'd been using Notion, which is a web-based service for this. And although it worked fine, it was limited in some of the ways I could access the data and some of the ways I could work with it. It wasn't enough to really cause me any major issues, but I did feel it was slowing me down. At the same time, I was looking for a new development project to try out some new programming techniques. So after going through all my whys, asking why am I doing this? Why do I want to do the development project? Why am I managing my media this way? I came up and I decided I would create my own media management app. By doing this, it met two things. It allowed me to create a more tailored experience for managing my workflow, but it also gave me a new and interesting development project to work on. A side effect, it will also give me another app that I can list for sale up on the Apple App Store. It's not there yet, I'm still working on it. After spending a couple of weeks prototyping this, I had an app that I was actually fairly happy with, so I carried on to develop it into a more complete application. I now have a solid workflow management system that is easy to tailor to my needs. But I also have an app that I can grow to add more features to bring the workflow together. And all this comes from asking the simple question, why am I doing this? Asking why let me spend a little bit of time to understand the reasonings for doing things. It let me take out my feelings and to look at things in a more unbiased manner. It helped me to save money, to simplify what I do, and to make better use of my time. What are you asking why? Why do you ask why about things? Have you tried doing it? It's amazing. Very simple question. Very powerful tool there. Please drop any comments down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.